The sound of a snapping finger is distinctive. It cuts through the hum of server fans and the murmur of six-figure deals being negotiated over lukewarm, sparkling water. When it happens 3 inches from your ear, it's not just a sound. It's a declaration of war. Hey, IT guy, Earth to IT guy. I didn't look up immediately. I was staring at a complex schematic for a Phase 3 fiber optic route that was supposed to keep the 37th floor from melting down during the upcoming summer heat wave. My finger was tracing the line where the redundant cooling loop intersected with the primary server annex. It was a careful setup, one that I had personally designed and negotiated for this firm 3 years ago. The finger snapped again, faster, like a metronome for an idiot. "I know you can hear me," the voice drawled. It was Mason Clark. Of course it was Mason Clark. Mason was 26, wore a fleece vest that cost more than my first car, and had the job title of Director of Visionary Ops. Far as I could tell, that meant his daddy was the VP of the holding company. My name is Bradley Coleman, but everyone calls me Brad. I'm 49 years old and I've been doing this work for 25 years. Started in aerospace back when things were built to last. You know how it is. Measure twice, cut once. That's how we did things in the Air Force, and that's how I've done things ever since. These days, most folks want everything fast and cheap. I still believe in doing it right. I finally turned my swivel chair. "Can I help you, Mason?" "The Wi-Fi," he said, waving his hand at the glass conference room behind him, where 5 other guys in identical vests were staring at a frozen Zoom screen. "It's lagging. We're pitching the Series B guys in 3 minutes. Fix it." I took a slow breath. I'm a 49-year-old man in a tailored blazer. I don't wear a lanyard. I don't have a walkie-talkie clipped to my belt. I was sitting at the conference table because the light was better for reading blueprints, not because I was waiting for someone to snap their fingers at me. "I'm not IT, Mason," I said, keeping my voice level. "I'm reviewing the infrastructure specs for the renewal. If you're having latency issues, you need to submit a ticket to the portal." Mason laughed, harsh sound like sandpaper on metal. "Excuse me? I don't submit tickets. I tell people to do their jobs. You're sitting here with a laptop, aren't you? Fix the router, reboot the whatever. Just make the internet work. Here's the thing about young guys like Mason. They see gray hair and figure you're just another old-timer who doesn't understand modern tech. They don't know that some of us designed the systems their fancy startups run on. Back in '98, I was laying fiber optic cable for military installations while Mason was still figuring out how to tie his shoes. "I am busy," I said, turning back to the schematic. "And I don't have admin access to your local network." That was the wrong thing to say, or maybe it was exactly the right thing. Mason slammed his hand down on the table, rattling my coffee cup. The entire open plan office went silent. Marketing team lowered their phones. Developers stopped typing. Even the sales guys looked up from their calls. "You know what?" Mason shouted, his face turning red. "I am sick of the attitude from old-timers in this building. You're too old for modern tech anyway. My father pays a fortune for this lease, and I can't even get a stable connection. You're useless. Actually useless." He pointed a finger at the door. "Get out. You're fired. I don't want to see you on this floor again. I'll have HR send your final check. Go." I froze. Not out of fear, but out of pure fascination. He was firing me. He actually thought he had the authority to fire me. See, this is where 25 years of experience comes in handy. You learn to read situations. You learn to stay calm when some kid half your age thinks he runs the world. I've been through layoffs, market crashes, and budget cuts. I've survived worse than Mason Clark. I looked at him. I looked at the silent office watching us. I looked at the folder under my hand, the one containing the lease renewal addendum that was the only reason his Visionary Ops Center had power redundancy. "You're firing me?" I asked, just to have it on the record. "I'm firing you," Mason spat. "Get your stuff and get out, now." I stood up slowly. I didn't argue. I didn't explain that I wasn't an employee of Next Gen Synergies, but rather the independent infrastructure overseer for the entire Skyline Tower. I didn't mention that the IT guy he just screamed at held the master key to the building's digital nervous system. You know what I did instead? I closed my laptop, capped my pen, picked up my leather folio, leaving that unsigned renewal contract sitting right there in the center of the mahogany table. "Understood," I said calmly. "Good luck with the Series B pitch, Mason." I walked to the elevator, could feel 60 pairs of eyes on my back, but I didn't rush. Pressed the button, waited for the chime, stepped inside. As the doors closed, I saw Mason smugly high-fiving one of his vest buddies, thinking he'd just shown everyone who was boss. Thing is, he hadn't shown dominance. He'd just cut the main artery keeping his business alive. He just didn't know it yet. The elevator ride down was smooth. Skyline Tower prides itself on those elevators. High speed, whisper quiet, serviced weekly. I know they're serviced weekly because I signed the vendor invoices, stepped out into the lobby and nodded to Tyler Henderson, our security chief. Tyler's former police, knows how to read people. Good man. Afternoon, Brad, Tyler grunted, eyes on his camera monitors. Everything good on 37? Not anymore, Tyler, I said, giving him a tight smile. Not anymore. 10 minutes later, exactly enough time for me to walk across the street, order a double espresso, and find a window seat. The chaos started upstairs. I wasn't there to see it, but I didn't need to be. You know how it is when you've been in this business long enough. You can write the script before it happens. Up on the 37th floor, Brett Sullivan, our building manager, walked out of the service elevator. Brett's a good man. He's 60, Vietnam veteran like a lot of us from that era. Wears suits that are a bit too big for him, sweats when things go sideways. He was carrying a notary stamp and a bottle of champagne, there to celebrate signing the 10-year lease extension I'd spent 6 months negotiating with the VP, Mason's father. Brett walked into that glass conference room and saw the folder I'd left on the table. Saw Mason and his team still riding high on adrenaline and completely clueless about what they'd just done. "Afternoon, gentlemen," Brett said, trying to sound upbeat. "Where's our man of the hour? We've got papers to sign." Mason spun around, looking annoyed. "Who?" "Brad," Brett said, scanning the room. "He said he was setting up in here. We need to finalize the infrastructure rider before 5 p.m. or the grandfather clause on your cooling unit expires." Mason grabbed a Red Bull from the mini fridge. Oh, him. The old guy with the attitude. "Yeah, I fired him. Couldn't fix the Wi-Fi." The room went dead quiet. Not just quiet. It was like someone sucked all the air out. The developers lowered their headphones. Jennifer Davis from HR, who actually knew who I was but had been in the bathroom during Mason's little tantrum, walked in just in time to hear this. Her face went white as paper. Brett blinked hard, started sweating. "I'm sorry, Mason." "You did what?" "I fired him," Mason said, slower, like he was talking to a child. "Guy was incompetent, couldn't fix simple Wi-Fi issues, gave me attitude, so I told him to pack up and get out. You're welcome, we need better vendors anyway." Brett stared at him, stared at the empty chair where I'd been sitting, stared at that unsigned contract on the table. "Mason," Brett said, voice starting to shake. "Brad isn't a vendor, he's not IT support." "Whatever, he was just—" "Brad is the landlord," Brett whispered. "What?" "Technically, he's the independent infrastructure overseer and leaseholder for all the commercial zones," Brett said, volume rising as the panic kicked in. "He owns the rights to the fiber trunk you're using. He owns the lease on the backup generators. He holds the master agreement for this entire floor. Mason, I just manage the cleaning crew. He decides if this building has power." Mason laughed, but it sounded nervous now. "You're joking. He was just sitting there with a laptop." "He was rewriting your lease," Brett yelled. "You just fired the guy who was about to save you $200,000 in retroactive utility fees." Mason's smile died. He looked at the folder, reached out, flipped it open. Right there on the first page in plain Arial font. Infrastructure Reliance Agreement, prepared by Bradley R. Coleman, Managing Partner, Skyline Infrastructure Holdings. "Oh," Mason said. Small sound like air leaking from a tire. "He walked out?" Brett asked, grabbing the table for support. "What did he say?" "He said, 'Understood,'" Mason mumbled. Brett closed his eyes. Dear God. He accepted the termination. "Mason, you didn't fire an employee. You just canceled your own service contract." Down on street level, I was watching my phone. Text came through from Brett. "Please tell me he didn't do what I think he did." I took a sip of my espresso. Didn't reply. Sometimes the best response is no response at all. See, my office isn't on the 37th floor with all those glass walls and city views. It's down on the 4th floor, tucked behind the mechanical rooms and freight elevator banks. Doesn't look like much, just concrete walls and steel doors. But that's where the real work gets done. This is the brain of the building. Those glass suites upstairs, they're just for show. I unlocked the heavy steel door and stepped inside. Cool, quiet, smelled like ozone and expensive paper. sat down at my desk, big oak slab covered in monitors, and fired up my workstation. Here's what most people don't understand about infrastructure. It's invisible when it works. You flip a switch, lights come on, you open your laptop, internet's there. You walk through a door, it opens. Most folks think that's just how buildings work, like it's some law of nature, but it's not. It's all contracts, services. And Mason had just told the service provider to get lost. I pulled the Next Gen Synergies binder from the shelf. 3 inches thick, full of addendums and riders and clauses most people never read. Opened it to Section 14B, Revocable Privileges and Shared Utilities. You see, when you rent office space in Skyline Tower, the base lease gets you 4 walls and a ceiling. Everything else, high-speed fiber, dedicated cooling for server rooms, biometric security access, priority elevator service, those are extras. Add-ons that I provide under separate agreements. Mason had just fired the guy who provided all those extras. I opened the building management software. My access level is root administrator, which means I control everything that matters in this building. Started with the elevator priority protocol. NextGen paid premium rates for VIP lift access. When one of their keycards got swiped in the lobby, one of our 6 elevators would immediately respond to their call. Saved about 4 minutes off the morning commute. Found the clause. Contract status. Negotiation terminated by tenant. Click the checkbox. Revert to standard access. Now they'd wait in line like everyone else. Next up, freight elevator access. They had new servers coming in on Tuesday. I knew because I'd approved the delivery schedule. But accessing the heavy-duty freight elevator requires a digital token that I issue. Revoked it. When that truck showed up, they'd have to carry those server racks up 37 flights of fire stairs. Good luck with that. But the big one was climate control. Regular office AC keeps things comfortable at 72 degrees, but server rooms generate serious heat. They need dedicated chilled water loops to keep the equipment from frying. Those loops run through my systems. Pulled up the HVAC schematic. Flow to Suite 3700 was set to high priority. I typed in a new command. Set to base building standard. The roof-mounted valve actuators would take about an hour to respond. By tomorrow morning, their server room would be running hot enough to fry an egg. I wasn't breaking any laws here. Wasn't sabotaging anything. I was just removing services that Mason had made very clear he didn't want from the old IT guy. My phone rang. The landline that only 3 people have the number for. Building owner, fire marshal, and head of legal. It was Lisa Parker, our legal counsel. "Brad," Lisa said, voice tight with stress. "I just got a panicked call from Brett. He says the VP's kid actually fired you." "He did," I said, putting the call on speaker while I navigated to the security systems. "Publicly, with witnesses, terminated our working relationship effective immediately." "Christ," Lisa sighed. "Okay, what's your next move?" "I'm following the termination order," I said, rolling back the uncontracted amenities. "Can't provide services without a signed liability waiver. You know the insurance rules. If their equipment overheats and I don't have coverage, we both get sued." "I know the rules," Lisa said. "I'm not asking you to stop. I'm asking how bad this is going to get." I was looking at the biometric lock controls for the executive bathrooms. "Well," I said, "I hope they're okay with using the public restrooms down in the lobby." "Understood," Lisa said. "I'll draft the liability documentation. Have a good evening, Brad." "You too." I hit execute on the command. Let the fun begin. The beauty of infrastructure is that it's invisible when it works. You breathe air, it's cool. You press a button, elevator comes. You assume these are just natural laws, not services someone provides under contract. On the 37th floor, those natural laws were about to change. Started small around 3:30 p.m. The smart glass in their executive conference room, the fancy stuff that frosts over for privacy with the touch of a button, stopped responding. Reverted to its default state, completely transparent. Mason was in the middle of a heated argument with his logistics coordinator, and suddenly the whole office could watch him pace around like a caged animal. I watched it on the security feed. Better than cable TV. Then the biometric locks kicked in. Those interior doors separating the developer area from the executive wing used fingerprint scanners that routed through my server. I disabled the account. The doors didn't lock permanently. That would have been a fire code violation. Instead, they failed safe, popping open and refusing to latch. Suddenly, Mason's exclusive executive sanctuary was open to everyone. Junior interns wandered in looking confused. Sales floor noise, ringing phones, loud conversations. flooded into what used to be his quiet space. But the real panic started at 4:15 p.m. I've got a dashboard that monitors all tenant support tickets. Usually these go straight to building management, but since I own the infrastructure, I get copied on anything marked critical. Ticket number 942, server room temperature alert. Current temp 78 degrees Fahrenheit and rising. Ticket number 943, executive bathroom access denied. Key cards not working. Ticket number 944, internet connection unstable. Packet loss at 40%. See, Mason called me IT, but he had no clue what IT actually runs on. Their fiber connection was a split line that I managed. Without my prioritization codes, their heavy data packets were now competing for bandwidth with the dental office on the 8th floor. Those dentists download massive X-ray files all day. NextGen's fancy video conferences started looking like old Nintendo graphics. I sat in my office sipping sparkling water, watching the temperature gauge for suite 3700 climb steadily. 79 degrees, 80 degrees, 81. My email dinged. Message from Mason. Subject, glitch, body. Hey, the AC is acting up and the doors are weird. Can you take a look? Need it fixed ASAP. No apology, no sorry I fired you, just another demand. Guy still thought I was his personal help desk. I didn't reply, just archived it in a folder labeled Evidence of Unauthorized Service Requests. 5 minutes later, my phone rang. Brett again. Brad, he's losing his mind down in the lobby, Brett whispered. Says the building is attacking him. He's trying to get old Bill from maintenance to hack into the thermostat system. Bill can't hack that thermostat, I said. It's encrypted with military-grade security, hardwired into the main building controller. I know that, but Mason doesn't. He's threatening to sue us for breach of habitable workspace. Brett, the lease guarantees 74 degrees for standard office space. Doesn't say anything about cooling high-density server farms. That was in the addendum, the one he chose not to sign. He's asking where you went. Keeps calling you that IT guy. Tell him I was terminated, I said. Tell him that as a non-employee, I'm not authorized on the premises. He's going to call his daddy. I'm counting on it. 82 degrees in the server room. The safety protocols I'd installed kicked in automatically. Servers started throttling their processing speed to prevent heat damage. That Series B presentation they were trying to upload, now crawling along at dial-up speeds. Checked the freight elevator camera. Delivery guy standing there with 10 boxes of pizza for the team pulling an all-nighter. He swiped his access card. Red light. Swiped again. Red light. Shrugged his shoulders and left the pizzas with front desk security. Mason's people were going to be hungry, hot, and stuck in a room with broken doors and internet slower than a government website. While Mason was sweating through his expensive fleece vest upstairs, I was straightening my tie. Had a business dinner to get to, moved up from tomorrow because, well, timing is everything in this business. Walked across the street to Capitol Grill, the kind of place where they age the steaks for 28 days and the waiters remember your name. I was meeting Logan Hayes, CEO of Omnitech. Omnitech was NextGen's biggest competitor. Solid company, no-nonsense approach, been trying to get premium space in Skyline Tower for 2 years. They were currently squeezed into a sublet on the 12th floor, desperate for better bandwidth and cooling capacity. Mason's father had outbid them for the 37th floor lease 3 years back. Logan stood when I arrived, man in his 50s, silver hair, the kind of handshake that means business. Brad, he said, didn't expect to hear from you today. Everything okay with the infrastructure renewals? Everything's changing, Logan, I said, sliding into the booth. Put a thin folder on the table between us. Ordered a Pinot Noir. I've got an unusual situation, I began. High-priority infrastructure capacity just became available. Immediate availability. Redundant fiber loops, dedicated chilled water cooling, VIP elevator access. Logan's eyebrows went up. Thought NextGen had that locked up for another 5 years. They did, I said carefully. But the renewal negotiation was terminated. By their representative, effective immediately. Logan's a smart guy. Didn't ask for gossip, just focused on opportunity. How much capacity we talking about? Enough to run your new AI development division, I said. Since the infrastructure's already in place, I can reroute everything to your floor in about 10 minutes. What's it going to cost me? Market rate plus a signing bonus for expedited service. 5-year commitment. Logan smiled like a man who'd just found money in an old jacket. Brad, if you can get me that bandwidth by tomorrow morning, I'll sign tonight. My CTO's been screaming for more fiber capacity for months. Contract's right here, I said, tapping the folder. and I can have everything rerouted before we finish dinner. We spent the next hour going through the details. Logan asked smart questions about latency and load balancing. Treated me like what I was, the guy who makes the digital world work. As I was signing the paperwork, my phone buzzed. Building alert. Tenant 3700, attempting unauthorized access to electrical panel. Mason was getting desperate, trying to physically reset the breakers. Everything all right? Logan asked. Just a minor issue with the legacy systems, I said, putting the phone away. So about that freight elevator, I've got a Tuesday morning slot opening up. You have equipment to move? Actually, we've got server racks sitting in a Jersey warehouse. Been waiting months for delivery access. Bring them over, I said. Walked out with a signed $750,000 5-year contract. Just sold Mason's bandwidth to his biggest competitor. Best part? The fiber cables run right through the ceiling of the 37th floor to reach the 12th. Mason would literally be sitting under the high-speed internet he used to have, listening to it work for someone else. Poetic justice, you might say. Friday morning came around, and the legal machinery finally kicked into gear. I was in my office by 8 a.m., always been an early riser, habit from my Air Force days. The building was coming alive around me, systems humming, everything running smooth as silk. Except for Suite 3700, my monitors told the whole story. Tenant 1200 Omnitech, bandwidth usage spiking, efficiency at 98%. Tenant 3700 Next Gen, bandwidth critical, packet loss at 65%, temperature holding steady at 84 degrees Fahrenheit. At 8:15 my phone rang. Outside line 212 area code. New York Corporate Legal. This is Brad. Mr. Coleman, this is Dustin Rodriguez, General Counsel for Next Gen's parent company. Voice was smooth, expensive, and currently stressed. I'm looking at some very disturbing reports from our Texas office. They're claiming the building is experiencing catastrophic system failures. Mr. Rodriguez, I said, settling back in my chair. I'm familiar with the situation, but I'd correct your terminology. The building's working perfectly. Services to Suite 3700 have just been aligned with their current contractual status. Contractual status? Papers shuffling on his end. I've got a lease here that runs through 2028. That's a base lease for square footage, I said. Check Addendum C, subsection 4. Technological amenities. High-speed fiber, enhanced cooling, security integration. Those are month-to-month services provided by the infrastructure overseer, subject to annual renewal. And your on-site representative, Mr. Mason Clark, terminated that provider yesterday. Publicly. Long silence. Heavy breathing. He fired you? The smooth lawyer voice was cracking. He did. Mistook me for a technician, questioned my competence, ordered me off the premises. Per the harassment clause in my vendor agreement, I complied immediately. Look, Mr. Coleman, Rodriguez's voice dropped. Mason is young, impulsive. He's the VP's son. But we can't have these systems down. We're hemorrhaging money. Missing deadlines. What do you need to make this right? Normally I'd just reopen negotiations, I said. But unfortunately, the capacity NextGen released has been acquired by another client. Acquired by who? Can't discuss client details, but the bandwidth's been reallocated. Cooling load shifted. It's all live traffic now. You sold our internet to someone else? Guy sounded like he was choking. I sold available bandwidth, I corrected. Can't sit on unused inventory, Dustin. Bad business. We need a meeting. Today. Name your price. I'm booked solid today, I lied. Truth was, I was planning to catch up on some technical journals. Monday morning, 9 a.m. That's the earliest I can do. Monday? The servers will be fried by Monday. I'd suggest powering down non-essential systems. Turn off some lights. Maybe open a window for ventilation. Oh wait, those windows don't open. My mistake. Mr. Coleman, Monday, Dustin. Tell Mason to bring a working pen this time. Hung up. Weekend was going to be interesting for them. By Friday afternoon, the 37th floor was like a sauna. Temperature had maxed out at 86 degrees, air circulation running on minimum to save energy. Smelled like hot plastic and desperation. Most of the staff had bailed, claiming they'd work from home. But without the VPN servers running properly, they were basically on unpaid vacation. Only Mason and a skeleton crew stayed, trying to keep the servers from melting down completely. They'd hauled in little desk fans from the drugstore, pathetic white plastic things buzzing against industrial-grade heat. Me? I went home, tended my garden, read a good book, slept like a baby. Monday morning was showtime. The electronic keycard system had a security feature I'd installed, rolling encryption that updated every 72 hours via network connection. Network goes down, keys expire automatically. Sunday at midnight, every next-gen employee badge stopped working. I arrived at 8:45 a.m. to beautiful chaos. 30 next-gen employees standing at the lobby turnstiles, swiping expired badges. Beep, beep, red light, beep, beep, red light. What's going on? One developer yelled at Tyler. My badge won't work. System shows expired, Tyler said. Can't let you up without valid credentials. Mason was there, looking like he'd slept in his clothes. Hadn't shaved. When he saw me walk in wearing a fresh suit and carrying a latte, his face went purple. You! He screamed, trying to climb over the security rope. Tyler stepped between us, arms crossed. Sir, you need to step back. He's doing this. Mason pointed at me with a shaking finger. He locked us out. I stopped, turned around. Lobby was packed with people from other companies watching the show. I didn't lock you out, Mason, I said, voice carrying clear across the marble floor. Your security system requires network authentication to validate credentials. No network, no credentials. Fix it, he screamed. I have a 9 a.m. meeting with the tenant representatives, I said, checking my watch. Are you the representative? Because you look more like a trespasser to me. Elevator doors closed on Mason, trying to explain to his own employees why they couldn't get to work. The fourth-floor conference room is nothing fancy. Windowless, soundproofed, harsh fluorescent lighting. At 9 a.m. sharp, they filed in. Brett looking relieved, Dustin Rodriguez the lawyer looking exhausted, Chad Clark, Mason's father, and the VP looking like thunder. Short, bald, wearing a suit worth more than most people's cars. Mason shuffled in last, beaten down, but still dangerous. They sat on one side, me on the other, one man against four. Mr. Coleman, Chad started, voice like gravel. Let's cut through this. We're losing $50,000 an hour. My son made an error. He was under pressure. We apologize. He nudged Mason. Sorry, Mason mumbled. Shouldn't have fired you. Can we turn the internet back on now? I looked at each of them. Mr. Clark, your son didn't just make an error. He publicly humiliated a professional who spent 25 years building a reputation. But that's personal, and I can handle personal. The problem is business. Opened my folder, pulled out a single sheet. This was your infrastructure renewal contract. Chad reached for it. Fine, we'll sign. Same terms. No, I said, pulling it back. This is the voided contract. As of Friday evening, your bandwidth allocation was released to market and purchased by Omnitech. You sold our capacity to our biggest competitor? Chad's face went red. I sold my capacity to a client with a signed contract and payment terms, I corrected. You had a handshake deal and a renewal your representative threw back in my face. We'll pay double, Chad said. 5-year binding agreement. Penalties for early termination would bankrupt us both. Besides, they're already using it. Mason finally understood. So we just don't have internet? You have basic build-in service. Good for email, bad for whatever visionary ops actually does. Chad Clark stared at me, then at his son, then at the lawyer. Finally got the picture. You're forcing us out, he whispered. I'm the infrastructure provider, Chad. You don't want my services. That's your choice. But if you want cooling, power, and data in this building, you need a good relationship with the guy who controls it. And you don't have that anymore. Walked to the door. Oh, and Mason? Freight elevators booked for Omnitech's server delivery tomorrow. You'll have to wait until Wednesday to move out. Stairs are always available. The move out was painful to watch, so naturally I watched every minute on security cameras. Wednesday morning, next-gen strategic relocation began. That's corporate speak for running away with your tail between your legs. Since I'd blocked the freight elevator for emergency maintenance, found a loose bolt that needed immediate attention, they had to use the passenger elevators. Small cars meant dismantling server racks piece by piece. Took them all day. Mason wasn't there. Word through the grapevine was that Daddy had transferred him to a satellite office in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I looked up the specs on that location. Warehouse district, copper wire internet. Good luck with that, kid. 2 months later, Omnitech moved into the 37th floor. NextGen paid massive lease-breaking penalties that went straight to the building owners. who gave me a nice bonus for aggressive yield optimization. Logan's a dream tenant. His people submit proper tickets, say please and thank you, bring coffee to the security staff, treat everyone with respect. 6 months later, I was back in that same conference room, Logan signing off on additional power allocation. "You know, Brad," Logan said, looking out at the skyline, "I still can't believe they just walked away from a setup like this." "Poor management," I said. "Didn't understand what keeps the lights on." "Well, we appreciate it. By the way, my nephew's starting an internship next week. Kid thinks he knows everything about computers." I froze for a second. "Don't worry," Logan continued. "First thing I told him was to introduce himself to Brad Coleman and treat you with complete respect. I said if I ever hear he snapped his fingers at you, I'll personally throw him off the roof." I smiled. "He'll do fine, Logan, as long as he knows where the real power comes from." Back in my office now, checking the monitors. Temperature steady at 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Bandwidth optimal. Tenant satisfaction at 100%. Filed away another successful contract. Building hummed around me, breathing, alive, everything working exactly as designed. My reputation was restored, bank account was healthier. And somewhere in Oklahoma, Mason was probably waiting for a file to download. Sometimes the system works exactly like it's supposed to. Respect goes both ways in this business, but it starts with knowing who really runs the show. And now everyone in this building knows exactly who that is.